Hey, we are back at it with part 2 of SojuTalk episode 93, where we get our weekly dose of hot takes, discuss recent K-pop news and events, and give you the state of the nation. Let's just get right into it. I'm going to go get Cousin Harold so he could give his weekly hot take.
You know,
All right.
Harold is actually a very diligent man, you know?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he shows up every week to partake in our podcast episodes. Like, what a guy, you know? It's not like
Great.
he's not even our friend.
Is the summer hot or is it just me? But the weekly hot take is, even taking COVID-19 into account, 2020 has still been musically weaker when compared to 2019. Boom.
Oh.
Bye, Harold.
Bye, Harold. Okay, he just left. He's just not looking back. That guy.
Hello
there,
Harold
Douglas.
just left kind of quickly.
Yeah, I know. I
He
wonder why.
did.
Peek my shaved head real quick, but okay. Even taking COVID-19 into account, 2020 has still been musically weaker when compared to 2019. Ooh, that's a take, right? That's a take.
It's a big take. Let's look at this nice chart you prepared for us, Douglas.
All right. I'm not going to. I have this chart here that I made of all the like decently big songs. I'm just going to name the big ones that I thought. So we wanted to have this take because if you're listening to this tomorrow, if we release on time, if we're able to, July 1st, half the year is over officially, right?
Right.
So we wanted to do this take, or Harold wanted to do this take, because it would allow us to compare the first half of 2019 to the first half of 2020, right?
Okay.
So the songs I'm going to list are like the ones that I thought were the big songs at this point in the year. So in 2019, Chungha's Gotta Go, G-Friend Sunrise, 17 Home, Itzy Dala Dala, Hwasa's Twit, TXT Crown, Mamamoo Go Go Baby, Eyes One Violetta, BlackPink Kill This Love, BTS Boy With Love, Twice As Fancy, Oh My Girl, The Fifth Season. Obviously, there were way more songs than that. 2020 so far, we've had Zico's Any Song, Eyes One Fiesta, BTS Is On, NCT 127 Kick It, Itzy Wannabe, Oh My Girl Nonstop, NCT Dream Riding, IU 8 featuring Suga, August D's Dechita, Baekhyun Candy, Twice More and More, Eyes One Secret Story of the Swan, Stray Kids God's Menu, 17's Left and Right. I think those were all the massive releases so far. I think one of these sides is extremely stronger when relative to the other.
Which side are you talking about?
I think 2019
Interesting.
had much stronger songs 6 months into the year than 2020.
Okay.
Going by numbers, is it reflected though? Because I think I counted more on 2020 side, right?
I think just impact-wise, right?
Or yeah, we're
it
going
was
by
more,
numbers
it was
or
more
impact.
impact-wise.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
going by like the overall. If we had to weigh once these songs versus the other songs, which songs are better? If we think about 2019, right? Gotta Go was Song of the Year candidate, right?
Yes.
Right.
G-Friend Sunrise did a music show all kill. 17 Home was a banger. Itzy Dala Dala was one of the strongest debuts ever, right?
Yes.
Eyes One Violetta was great. Kill This Love, while it might have been a bit of a disappointment, was a massive song. Boy With Love, another Song of the Year contender. Twice As Fancy, another Song of the Year contender, right? When I look at 2020, I think one song is by far Song of the Year, like, at this point, and it is Zico's Any Song. Easily. There's no competition in my mind. Just on impact. Am I wrong with that? I don't know. Did we lose it? Did we lose Anita? Are you?
No, I'm still here.
Okay,
She's still here. She's paying attention.
She's processing like a robot. Okay.
What?
Buffering. She's buffering. But Warren, what do you think?
I'm trying to think of examples where maybe 2020 was a better year compared to 2019 for certain artists, right?
Mhm.
I'm thinking especially about maybe, stuff like, I know BlackPink's not really on the list, but like I mentioned earlier, their recent song, I think.
BlackPink should be on the right hand side, the 2020
Oh, is it?
list, of course. No, it should
okay.
be.
It should be, but it's not. That's okay because I imagine it's there, and it's miles better than Kill This Love for me personally. And then Nonstop performed better than the fifth season, even though I had a preference for the fifth season. On performed way better than Boy With Love,
But
although I preferred
if
Boy With Love.
you had to ask me which song out of Boy With Love and On is more iconic, Boy With Love.
Same.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
Boy With Love had way more sticking power than On did, because like you got to think Boy With Love, like 5 months after that song came out, it was still like dominating places, whereas On kind of like it happened, everyone was hype, everyone bought the album, and it just feels like it hasn't stuck as hard.
I agree. to me personally, and it's kind of weird because I tried to listen to the album a lot. I
Yeah.
took I processed a lot of it with the idea that we would have this long discussion about the album. So it was one of the few times where I listened to a BTS album in completion, and I thought it would stick more. That being said, I think I figured out a common pattern with a lot of these artists.
Okay.
2019 was a year of new things, doing
Oh.
new things.
New things.
Twice.
No
did fantasy.
thanks. Mhm.
New things. Okay,
Yeah,
twice
yeah.
did fantasy. Twice did fantasy. BTS went back to their old thing, did Boy with Love. ITZY came around. They laid down a whole new track for doing
Right.
their thing, right? I feel like a lot of things in 2019 was great. Chungha Gotta Go. That's another example. She
Iconic.
figured out her
Mhm.
kind of vibe.
She figured out her chunga-ness in that.
Right. She
Yeah.
became the perfect Chungha. 2020 so far to me has been expanding upon 2019 in terms of redoing what they've already done so far or pivoting real hard and that kind of being a flop. That's what I think is the common pattern here. And maybe that's why we're like, 2020. Not as iconic as
This is the
2019.
point I want to make. I think that almost all of these, the vast majority of these groups had improvements between 2019 and 2020, right? So, for instance, like Uju Sonyo Boogie Up versus Uju Sonyo Butterfly, big step
Yes.
up, right? I think NCT 127 Superhuman, NCT Kick It, I would say that's about equal playing field in my mind. I don't know. I think that. Let's see, what else do we got here? ITZY Dalla Dalla, ITZY Wannabe, I would say is kind of about the same level. I think Oh My Girl had a big step up this year in terms of sales, that
Yes.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
It seems to me that more eyes are now on K-pop in 2020, right? I think that that's fair to say. I think a lot of these groups are progressing because you should get better over time. That makes sense. But I think that the high points in 2019 were higher than the high points in 2020 so far.
Right. The more I think about it,
memorable.
the 2020 high points feel like a derivative of 2019 high points. And like I'm looking at ITZY, right? Like Wannabe and Dalla Dalla, and then ITZY in between. Wannabe feels like it always felt like the weaker of the trio in terms of that, and like them trying to, because Dalla Dalla had that magic. It was the first of its kind of deal, like.
Yeah.
And then Wannabe was like, all right, it feels like something we've done already twice, but that's still cool too. That's the overall vibe I'm getting with this. Like Eyes One Fiesta, I said that during our review. I was like, or our discussion. I was like, this feels like Violetta and La Vie en Rose all over again, but with a very messy arrangement. It's,
Like Bon Bon Chocolat versus Dun Dun. They're very similar songs,
Oh,
right.
right?
Bomba chocolate. man.
It really feels like 2019 was the year they peaked in terms of what they're really good at, and then 2019 it feels like they're trying to recreate some of that magic or create new magic, and it just isn't happening for me. No.
What do you think, Anita? Which side
G-Idol
do
too,
you
yeah.
prefer, 2019 or 2020, in terms of the first half of the year releases?
I think I kind of agree with what Warren was saying though, because I do feel like by numbers and looking at the list and the people that came back and had like significant comebacks, I do feel like 2020 has had good songs. Like by all means, I feel like there are songs that I've listened to quite a bit, but the songs that came out in 2019 were definitely songs that I felt like were iconic, I guess, for the groups.
That's exactly the word I was looking
Right.
for.
Yeah,
right?
for the
Iconic.
groups that had these comebacks, like Chungha, ITZY, Hwasa, like those artists definitely hit it big with these songs that came out last year. And I guess when you put them like side by side and comparing them, you do feel like 2019 had like this sticking power, like you mentioned, where they were hits. Like these were all songs that I felt like were constantly on the
Right.
charts, and people covered them. Like other artists were covering them. So I feel like I do see that argument, and I guess it does make 2020 look a little bit weaker. Not necessarily
Yeah.
that like there's a lack of good songs. It's just like the impact.
Right. Impact.
I think the word iconic is very good, because when I think of like modern Twice, it's fancy, right? At least that's the start of the
Yes.
trend. I think Boy With Love was humongous for the industry. Dala Dala, like Itzy's defined by Dala Dala and the subsequent songs, right? Hwasa's Twit that's going to be the Hwasa song, probably sort of like Sunmi's with Gashina. Twit is going to be the song that is synonymous with Hwasa till the end of her time, right? Like that's to the end of her career, essentially. And you think of like even like groups like Stray Kids. I know we really liked God's Menu, but like I honestly feel for me that Mirror was the start of the rise. I thought that was when they got it all together and they're like, we good now. Like, watch us. It just feels... And also, Oh My Girl in the Fifth Season, that was the first song that got Oh My Girl on Warren's radar.
Yep.
Right? Yep. AB6's Breathe. That was big.
That was big.
I don't know. Red Velvet Zimzala was massive too. Some of the ones... I missed some of the ones to highlight on the 2019. Like, Zimzala, I thought... Well... I know you guys don't like 80s Wave as much as I do, but I thought that was amazing. The Boys Bloom Bloom, that was a really big song for them. It's tough. We're arguing like 25 songs versus 25 songs, right? Essentially. I just feel that 2019 was way more iconic, and that might just be the fact that we are a year after now because those songs have been around for a year, so we've had more time to listen to them. But at the same time, there's just something about the top tier 2019 songs that feel a little bit better to me than the top tier 2020 songs.
I also want to point out a different approach to the same argument in terms of performance and whatnot. Because Doug, you mentioned earlier that there are more eyes on K-pop than ever before.
Yeah,
I kind of disagree with that actually.
Okay.
Because I've mentioned this here and there in the previous episodes, but K-pop right now is an interesting point because this isn't. I wouldn't say idol music is very mainstream in K-pop right now.
I mean the international viewership.
Yeah. I totally thought that's what you meant, but at the same time, internally within Korea, it's not performing that well in terms of just public impact and charts and whatnot. And at the end of the day, it's one of those situations. You have to hit it right at home for it to keep getting funded and keep going a positive route. And for a couple years so far, it's been not so much on the rise in terms of that with a lot of other major players in the like popular music scene.
Would you attribute the massive album sales to be just more that fans are willing to spend more money? You don't think it's an actual increase in fandom sizes?
No,
you know
I think it's an I definitely think it's an increase in fandom size and fandom impact. I also think it's more and more of a detachment from the rest of the mainstream.
I kind of agree with that.
Yeah, that is one of the recurring patterns that I've been observing the past couple years. The more and more it's taking the same route anime did earlier in the 2000s and mid 2000s, where it was originally a culture for everybody, and then more and more there's a specific audience that is catering for and a specific audience that is consuming it. And it becomes it becomes more and more of a niche subculture that is
more
part of
and
popular
more
culture.
and more and more popular culture. Yes. Okay. 2020.
I think that's partially about why we feel this way too.
2020, I think it's going to be very hard to unseed Zico's Any Song. Right?
Oh yeah.
I think that is by far Song of the Year unless something crazy happens. I think I'm going to make a prediction that it will probably be Song of the Year even at the end of the year. That's might be a bold prediction on my end.
I think regardless of whether the song is good or whether you like the song or like whether you think the song charted horribly or whatever, it had that impact because it was the first song to kind of like pave a way for how a song performs.
Yeah.
Because it created this whole TikTok thing, right?
Yes.
It was the first song to kind of
the challenges and all that.
Right. And there were so many other songs that tried to do it. None of them worked. Clearly.
So are we in agreement that we think that the songs in 2019 are stronger than 2020? My vote is 2019 for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While we were talking, I was
Sorry.
sort of convincing myself that no, 2020's been lit, right? Like, I still think 2020's been lit. I just
No,
think that
2020's been lit. Yeah.
Yeah.
2019 though, hey, right?
It's
If
like
you wanna
your
see
mom
some-
told you that
if you-
we have 2019 at home, and then you go home and there's 2020.
2020.
What?
I mean, I honestly think a lot of this might reflect on my opinions on the year 2020 as a whole so
That's
far.
true.
Because it's
That's
been
true.
Yeah.
now. Let's talk about that because like COVID obviously plays a big part. Although in terms of the amount of songs released, the amount of music that came out. I know there was like a bit of a dry period, obviously, because COVID was nuts in Korea, but pretty much everyone big has come back so far
Yeah,
in 2020 as
nothing
well.
really slowed
so
down.
nothing really slowed down that much. So I don't think COVID's actually that big of an impact into this discussion. But yeah, if you want to see the songs that we've covered in both years, you could check out the SojuTalk summary, which is in the YouTube video description. So you can see all the stuff, and it pretty much recaps everything we've done so far on this podcast. You can look at the comparisons of the 2019 and 2020 songs, but I guess for us, we're kind of leaning towards 2019, right, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Can we just end 2020 and go to 2021 already? Like, come on.
I have to say, I'm kind of interested how COVID takes an impact on music.
Next year?
No,
Or
just
moving on?
from here onwards, right? Like, and I'm thinking more about pop music with this, but what the biggest musical pivots that we've had was like, I'm thinking 2009-ish, 8-ish, right after the financial bubble, the financial bubble popped. And then suddenly we had this influx of EDM dance music, you know.
Dubstep.
Right. Like Black Eyed Peas were suddenly doing their thing, and like, I think a lot of it was attributed to how the public in America at that time was very like depressed, and like they were looking for a way out, right? They were looking for escapism. And that was, I think, one of the biggest pivots in terms of modern pop music. I wouldn't be surprised if we get something similar here.
Interesting.
Call your shot. What do you think we're going to pivot to?
I honestly have no clue.
Well, make a prediction. Make it spicy.
I don't want to make a spicy prediction just for the sake of making a spicy prediction.
All right, Warren's
Dog.
predicting Dubstep Part 2 in 2020.
No.
2020.
No
Skrillex
excuses.
is going to come to Korea.
I'm predicting Rocket Punch Artist of the Year. One day.
What? All right, you're entitled to that opinion. I just don't have
One
to
day
agree
it'll
with it.
happen.
All right, I think that wraps up this hot take. Let us know what you think in your comparison of the music in the first half of 2019 relative to 2020. Okay. The first news topic we're going to be covering. SM formally responds to NCT Taeyong's rumors. So this is going to be a long discussion, long readout before we start talking about it. So the first thing, SM Entertainment has stated that they will take legal action against the primary informant and others who continue to spread false claims against NCT's Taeyong. On June 24th, a full dispatch report broke down the situation, which has followed him since his debut. Back in 2009, when Taeyong was just a second-year student in middle school, he was responsible for leaving hurtful comments about a classmate who's known as A via a shared student online community. Informant B, another former classmate of Taeyong, was the first person to reveal this information to the public after his debut in 2016. There's an ice cream truck outside. I don't know if you can hear it though.
I can hear it.
No.
In 2019, Taeyong personally met up with victim A to personally apologize for his mistake from his middle school days, and A officially accepted his apology and signed a legal document agreeing to bring the incident to an end. A personally spoke up after news of Taeyong's personal apology became publicized and asked others to refrain from making false assumptions, spread rumors, and to refrain from further invading the privacy of all parties. The dispatch report has shown that Taeyong and A have had many friendly conversations and that Taeyong personally invited A to an NCT concert and then they went, I believe. So they're cool now. They're chill. They talk quite often,
Person
that
A.
kind of thing.
Cool.
Less than a month ago, B, the person who initially exposed this, emerged again on an online community accusing Taeyong fans of severely invading their privacy. B later directed the accusations towards Taeyong, posting alleged cacao messages which seemed to indicate that the victim A did not feel sincerity from Taeyong's past apology and that Taeyong did not complete the community service that he had promised. The dispatch report claims that B edited the posted messages maliciously and also revealed proof of Taeyong's volunteer activities and donations that he made through charities since apologizing. So Dispatch basically said like this B person posted these edited photos of the Kakao messages, and they also posted proof that Taeyong did volunteer and make donations to charity and did everything that he said he would. And then the final thing, which is where we started, is that SM is now seeking legal action against B.
Okay. Very messy situation. Lots of mud. If this was confusing, I think Doug worded it really well.
Yes.
Rewind back a couple seconds. Let that sink in.
So basically,
Goodness.
this person B was saying like Taeyong did this bad in his past, right? This is basically what they did. And Taeyong was like, oh, that might have happened. So he apologized to this A person, right? And they're chill now. And that should be probably it, right? Where the story ends. Then B comes out again and is like, bro, I'm mad at the Taeyong fans for being angry at me for exposing this. Which, honestly, I could see that being a legitimate argument, right? Like, they revealed this and then they're getting backlash. But what did you expect, right?
Right.
And now B's like, yo, they ain't even chill now. And look, he's not even sorry. And his apology was kind of crap because A's not happy. If that was actually legitimate, right? If everything they said was true, that all of it was BS, I could see their argument. But the fact that Dispatch comes out and be like, fam, you put out these fake messages, and look, he actually did the things he said he did, just proves to me that B is like actively trying to further ruin his career. If we take everything as truth.
Right.
Especially because B is a regular person. I want to speak on this cautiously, but I'm on your boat right now. It does feel like a very iffy situation where the situation looks like it's over. And it's, I mean, see, the one part that really gets to me is how fans might have harassed B, right?
Yeah.
That to me makes total sense. Not because I want that to happen, but because I can see younger fans who are like, this guy tried to ruin my oppa's career, and then going in and then harassing this guy. I can see that happening. It's happened in so many other industries, so many other fields of it, it's bound to happen. Don't do that. If you did it, don't. That being said, besides that, I am on your boat. It does feel like that kind of situation.
You know, the thing is, it's obviously, I don't think we need to talk about and tell you that bullying is bad, obviously, in any form. I honestly think this is like a bit of a minor form, although all bullying is bad, objectively. I think we've all done things in our past that we're not proud of, which is, I think everyone has some skeletons in their closet. But I think what defines you is if you're willing to admit that you were wrong. And I don't know, even if it was publicly pressured for him to apologize, he's apologized for them, right? And that's all you can really ask him to do. He can't take back what has already happened.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, people aren't always perfect, and the thing is, they improve as human beings. And if Taeyong and A is willing to accept that he has improved as a human being, then I'm willing to accept that too.
And you could look up their DMs online. They seem to be really chill with each other. It's like, how's your mom doing? Blah, 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 blah. Like, they seem to have, like, a normal, like, relationship. And it's like, even A was messaging him, like, I hope you're getting rest these days. You're probably really busy. Like, they seem to be very chill with each other.
Isn't that what you ask in League? Like, how's your mom doing?
What? I wouldn't know.
Not really.
No,
maybe in Korean League, not
yeah, but
American League.
That might be a Korean thing. It's like sarcastically, like.
Oh no, there was no sarcasm in this.
Okay, it was a serious "How's your mom doing?" Not like.
Yeah, it's just like how you doing.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure someone asked about their family at some point in it, but
okay.
They, from what I could tell in those Kakao messages, they seem to be completely chill. Water under the bridge. It happened. Whatever. Well, let's learn from this, right?
Right.
This B person, like. You seem bitter about something, right? Like, you seem jealous, I guess.
Jealous?
I don't know.
Maybe.
It just feels that at this point, if you're at the point now, like, it would be one thing if there was objective, you had, like, proof that this was all just a sham, right? The apology was fake, whatever. I can get why you would be like, yo, the people got to know the truth as to like what happened, right?
Right.
But the fact that Dispatch, who's not even that has a pristine reputation, as you've heard in our past discussions, the fact that they're like, LOL, look, you're editing these things to make him look bad, right? The fact that Dispatch is dropping that pretty much means they probably have been maliciously edited, and that SM is seeking legal action. They wouldn't seek it if they didn't fully back Taeyong on this.
Right.
Right?
But I do want to bring to your attention, because I know that when fans harass other people that might have hurt their oppa's careers, they do get very violent. I've seen many cases of like people fall into mental problems and like anxiety issues because the fans wouldn't stop harassing people. So if
I still think that doesn't justify that though.
I mean, I've seen people go absolutely nuts and attempt suicide. Like, I mean,
yeah, but suicide and trying to further ruin his career are two very different things.
I'm just saying, when people get pushed off into like the limits of their mentality, they start doing crazy things, and he might not be in his right mind.
This is something that I was the you're pointing that out. I think is very interesting, because the way the event seemed to have occurred is that person B, the informant, said something in 2016 about person A and Taeyong, right? And that appeared to be true. So the first thing he informed was acknowledged, and there was an apology meeting, and things seemed to have been okay afterwards. Then this false accusation, this false information that they're giving later on seems to be in response of like, hey, Taeyong's fans are harassing me because I had this information in the past. Right. And it turns out to be false, right? It's fabricated, and the messages were not real, and Dispatch got a hold of this. So I feel like I don't understand why you would come to this action, right? Like fabricate this information. Maybe it is like to gain attention and like, hey, do something about the fans. But I don't know. I feel like the way as to this person B tried to have something done with this problem that they were having of this invading of privacy from the fans, and I don't know, this backlash that they got for this information that was true in the beginning, apparently in 2016. I don't know. I feel like I feel bad for this person B, because I feel like they were trying to, hopefully they were trying to do something right when they revealed the thing. Yeah, in the initial information. And then they got this backlash, and I do agree with Warren, like that shouldn't really happen. Like, don't harass people because you don't know, like they affect somebody else negatively. Like, don't do what they would do to someone else, you know? Like, treat others as you would like to be treated. But this fabrication, this false allegation, I feel like it's pretty severe, because it's false, and they can prove it, and they're gonna take legal action. So I don't know. I wish I don't know if SM or anybody, any form of authority could have done something to prevent the harassment, or to like say, hey, this person, don't do this. Like, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything that could have been done for person B, but I don't know. I think it's a very, very tricky situation where it just became worse because of this false information they provided.
By no means am I saying that what B did should be justified. He still lied. But at the same time, I'm saying people who are put in that situation, they do crazy shit.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
There's a reason it's for there.
I wonder if B was trying to like get attention or something, because I have been following the situation, and before SM and before Dispatch kind of came out and said like these allegations are false, I think I've heard that person B was asking Taeyong to make a statement, like tell your fans to back off, or like say something, and there was no statement. There was no recognition of like, please stop harassing this person. So I feel like, I wonder if this came afterwards, this false information of like the apology wasn't sincere and whatnot, where like person B was just trying to I don't know, make things more serious or get more attention in a way.
There's just it is very the way I see it, it is very possible that he's just not in his right mind right now. He could be making decisions that he regrets down the line when he's
He or her, we don't know.
Yeah,
who it
them.
is.
Whoever they are.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
this person is you get the idea. That's all I'm trying to say.
I could see it from their point of view, and they might not be logically speaking because they're getting this flack from fans or other people because they released information, and then they're gonna release more information that invites even more flack.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
Yeah, they didn't really
they're doing
help
the same
themselves
action
there.
again. And
Yes.
this time it's even worse because I honestly think the first time they released this stuff, I don't know if A wanted this out there. Right?
I think
we don't know that.
That's the other
Right,
thing.
that's true.
We don't know if A wanted the initial information releasing by B to happen. We don't know that.
Right.
Because like I was never really picked on as a kid. Even like the people who messed with me a little bit, it's like as time has moved on, I'm like, it is what it is. Right? I'm not bitter about anything like that, to be honest. So maybe A didn't even want it to come out, and it's even blown up for A because they're like, A might be getting some flack too because B released this stuff, right?
Young B is the example that comes to my mind about that because Young B
Explain
also
who
had
Young B is.
Young B's a Korean rapper, part of Indigo Music. He had a lot of bullying accusations, which all
Right.
turned out to be somewhat true. Some of it were not confirmed and are just rumors. But it was one of those situations where the person that was bullied was just happily living their lives, forgotten about this whole situation, and then Young B becomes popular, and they're like, "Well, Young B should apologize to you. Young B should apologize to you." And the person
Somebody
was like,
else, brings this up.
and the victims that actually was in the center of this was like, I don't want this. I don't just leave me alone, man. Like, go on TV all you like. I don't really care. You know, like,
Yeah, just this is like as a whole, this is just a really complicated like situation because there's so
Very
many
muddy.
nuances. Overall, it sucks for all parties involved, right? Regardless, everyone's getting flack from this.
I feel like everybody that has been mentioned, person B, person A, I think Taeyong, of course, the group NCT probably has something in there. I also feel like I saw someone saying, or I think somebody had said, I don't know where, that Taeyong had refused to make a statement so far without like the official SM statement coming in now because there were other people involved in these chats, other people that were friends with A or B or Taeyong, right? And that were also going to be involved and that were also going to be possibly harassed. So I feel like there's a lot of people that are not in the industry, that are not celebrities, that then do not want this attention, that might be, I don't know, that might receive this attention that they don't want, like Warren mentioned. So I don't know. I feel like when it comes to these like past events of idols or celebrities in general, I always feel like when things come up, it definitely depends on the severity of the event, of course. But I also feel like when it's stuff that that it's brought up after debut, right? Or like the timing is a little weird because it's like right before a comeback or it's right before this new release or something like that. I feel like it is meant to give this like negative reputation and bring back stuff that might not reflect the person anymore. And I don't know. I guess I'm more of the mentality. Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, the timing, it's like, it is what it is, right? When they want to release it, right? I think though that in all these situations, the person who was directly affected, who is A in this point, should have been the one to say something if they wanted to say something.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Because they are the one who had the actions done upon them. It is what happened in their life. I think they should, because if they want to release it or not, they should be the ones who affect the side effects, which is the flack and whatever. If they want to release it, they should be like, well, I know this might happen, but at least I'm controlling what happened in my life.
Right, but kind of dependent on that is this whole issue of NCT fans going in and bullying person B.
No,
That's-
no.
I
But
don't
I'm-
condone that at all either.
Yeah, no, but I'm
I
saying
don't-
like if this whole story should honestly be what I'm saying is this whole story should have been between A and Taeyong, whether it gone public or not. That's
Of
my point.
course,
Right.
that's where it should have been.
That's where it should have been.
Yeah, well, the internet likes to pick up on little things and pick sides and fight. Stop fighting people.
Yeah,
Why-
and
why?
the amount of, especially for idols, the amount of past stuff that gets dug up out of the ground is like you have to you better have been like an angel back in the day, right? Because like people are gonna release everything. But I think that wraps this up. I think that this badge report has kind of broken up this situation.
I will
okay.
say that I am really glad that there's like official statements and like companies stepping in, because when a lot of this like rumors and like misinformation has been going on, I feel like there hasn't really been a lot of like specific action from companies. So I'm glad that there's more final. I don't know, like something final being said and like, hey, this is the facts. This is the information that we have. We don't want this to keep going, so please stop. I don't know. I appreciate
think-
it to a certain
no.
extent.
My opinion, the agencies will only act if they know they're false.
Mm-hmm.
That might be a take, because they have nothing to gain if they're true, and they just like they could acknowledge it, right? But unless the rumors are false, there's no onus on them to make a public statement that they're defending their artist. Right? I don't know.
Yeah.
You agree with that, right?
Yeah, and kind of expanding upon that, they have no. The other problem is from a business perspective, they have no reason to protect. person B.
Acknowledge.
Yeah. Or
they have
acknowledge,
they have no reason to acknowledge unless rumors are false, I think.
Yeah.
From a business standpoint. Because it doesn't help them by acknowledging like, yeah, this person has some bullying rumors. Like they're not gonna do that.
You just stop fighting people. Stop being bullies.
Yeah,
Be
how about we get to the
nice.
root of the problem? Just don't bully. We don't have
Yeah,
these
be
problems, man.
nice to each other.
Boom,
Easy.
boom, boom.
Boom.
Okay. Next
Let's
topic.
move on.
Album sales achievements. IZ*ONE's, let's call it Odoric this week. Odoric Diary is
Oh
now
no,
the
no,
best.
I saw an interview. Apparently, it's Oniric.
Oniric. Oniric. Hey.
Oniric.
Oniric Diary is now the best-selling girl group album of all time on Hanteo. The album
wow.
currently sits at about 114,000 albums sold at the time of this recording and surpassed their own record of 111,000 albums sold by Blue Eyes in just 11 days. So they have the number 1 and 2
Wow.
best-selling albums on Hanteo in the history of the chart.
Can I point something out real quick?
Yes.
And I've been meaning to tell you for like a long time now, but I was never able to. It's Hanto, not Hanteo.
Well, the English way they write it is clearly Teo, T-E-O.
I mean, it's Hanto Chatu. Okay.
Why don't they romanize it H-A-N-T-O then?
I don't. That's just how they romanize it. That's just one of the rules of romanization.
All right, well now it's Hanto. Okay.
I'm
Hanto.
sorry. Hanto. Yeah. Okay.
The next one, 17 with Hengare. I think that's how we're gonna pronounce that one.
Yay!
became
Close enough.
the second artist after BTS to sell over 1 million albums during the first week of sales.
Wow.
Hangare sold 1.09 million copies in the first week, which puts them third all time for the first week album sales on Hanto after BTS's Map of the Soul 7 and Map of the Soul Persona. So it is the third best opening week of all time.
Wow.
1.09 million copies.
Millions.
17
Wow.
is just wow.
So now this year alone, we have, if I know correctly, BTS, NCT 127, and 17 all sold over 1 million albums, with IZ*ONE at about 800,000, I think.
oh my goodness.
All right. Lastly, Stray Kids broke their personal record, first week album sales record with Go Live. Go, Stray Kids' first full-length album sold 127,000 copies on Hanto, beating their personal record of 83,000 set by the group's previous mini album Levanter.
Oh, interesting.
Seems that every week we have people breaking their own sales achievements.
Yeah.
Right, guys?
That's
Yeah.
good.
That's
Interesting.
why you've been mentioning Hanteo every week, and I was like, I should tell him at some point.
You should have
but
told me like week 2, fam.
yeah, but like, I mean, like,
Bro,
I kept.
you just let me fail for
No,
like
I
6
just-
months straight.
I was like, I need to tell him at some point. I just can't let this
It's
keep
not,
happening.
it's not terrible though. I think.
No, I think it's fine. Everybody knows what you're referring to.
I mean, if you spoke no Korean, how would you pronounce Hanteo?
Hanteo.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Because there's a football player whose last name was Teo, Teo. Manti Teo was his name. So quick takes. He's the one who dated the fake girl. Just a shout out
What?
to Manti Teo.
Girl,
Back in the
what?
day, he was the original catfish. He was a
Wow.
linebacker at Notre Dame who got straight catfished.
Oh man.
8 years
Big
ago. All right, quick takes. June 23rd, media outlets reported Taeyong, 2 p.m.'s Taeyong, was dating a non-celebrity, and the couple was spotted on a date at a ranch in Pyeongchang, Gangwon-do Province, Korea.
Ooh.
It was confirmed by his label, so it is happening.
Oh wow! Congratulations.
Yay.
Next one, on June 24th, C9 Entertainment issued an official statement announcing the postponement of CIX's comeback, originally scheduled for June 30th today.
Oh.
According to C9 Entertainment, CIX member Bae Jin-young suffered an ankle injury, a tarsal joint sprain, in early June, and after taking some time off, recently re-sprained the ankle again
No.
while practicing for CIX's comeback choreography. As a result, the release date for CIX's third mini album, Hello Chapter 3, Hello Stranger Time, that's a weird name, will be postponed from the original date of June 30th until a later date. No date is confirmed.
I like that they didn't give us a date.
I like that too. 'cause,
Right. It feels like they're actually gonna rest.
That's
Dude,
nice.
double spraining an ankle must be horrific.
That's
Like,
That
so
must
close to
hurt.
each other.
Man, I don't even want to imagine it.
On June 26th, this is the next one, Cube Entertainment announced an official partnership with Format East, VTGMP, and KVLY, which are all giant Chinese companies, in preparation of a new audition program titled The Seesaw Game in China. So they're somehow doing an audition program called Seesaw Game. Cube Entertainment stated regarding the upcoming launch of Seesaw Game, we are anticipating this opportunity as a key stepping stone in opening up the pathway to Cube's growth as a global entertainment company as we prepare to launch a rookie group with the high competitive potential in Chinese and global markets.
Oh, they want that Chinese money.
So you know how Cube, their majority shareholder, became a Chinese company? It seems like they are going to now have a Chinese group in the future. That should be pretty cool.
Wow.
It's gonna be interesting.
Next one, Niziyu. I think that Nijiyu, is that how we're pronouncing it?
I looked it up. Apparently, it's Niju.
Niju? Oh!
Yeah, it makes sense, right? Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, Niju. JYP's new 9-member girl group from the Niji project released their digital pre-debut single, Make You Happy, on June 30th. The group will have their official debut in the fall, with the album being released in both Japan and Korea.
You know what I've been really finding interesting? They on their like promotional stuff, they have Korean subs on everything.
Yes, they are targeting both markets.
I know, it's kind of crazy.
Crazy, right?
Reverse,
Oh yeah.
reverse.
You forgot their name?
Importation.
Oh, reverse importation. I thought you were gonna say reverse twice, but
Oh no, reverse importation.
okay. Lastly, this was a little strange. Momoland is reportedly set to make an official U.S. debut.
Eh?
What?
The group has recently signed a deal with LA-based ICM partners. There was no other details to that except for that news topic.
That seems like an interesting move.
Yeah.
I will watch with great amounts of interest.
But now we are at comeback and releases. Warren, hit us with them.
All right, June 30th, we have Uptension's Jinhyuk and Weekly on their debut song.
Mm-hmm.
July 1st, on Wednesday, we have Zico coming back with his new EP. On July 5th, Sunday, we have G-Idol coming back. July 6th, on Monday, we have Chungha's pre-release, and then SF9, as well as Red Velvet's own unit, Irene and Sugi. In other confirmed comeback news, you have EXO, SC on July 13th, Jungseun on July 14th, 8T's on July, 8Pink's Jungeunji in July, TOO in July, Victon Seungwoo solo debut in August, and Kyuhyun sometime this summer.
Yeah, Sungwoo's getting a solo debut, sir. Additionally, the G-Idol thing, it's for their online concert, Island, Who Am I? I don't think it's a title track, based on the things I've seen. The Weekly song is actually maybe a spoiler for next week's review. It's kind of good. I need to listen to it more though. It's good. It's good. A lot of people like it.
Is that actually how we pronounce the name? Weekly?
No
No, I
idea.
think they just go weekly, but we are calling them weekly.
Weekly.
Last thing. Oh no, I think that was it. So, State of the Nation. I got two
Whew.
things. Who watched Island? Anita, did you
I
watch Island?
did.
You watched Island? Okay.
Yes.
They're kind of doing so a little bit of a spoiler alert.
Spoiler
So you got
alert.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They spent so much. I know they told us they spent so much money on this. They spent so much goddamn money on this show.
So much money
And
everywhere.
You watch the show, you know why the kid fell. It's very obvious. They have this
Yep,
moving
yep.
platform thing. It's like,
Man.
hey Warren, do you know the Portal game that we play sometimes? And they have
Yeah.
those moving platforms.
That's
Oh,
what they
man.
had.
That's
That
basically
doesn't
what
sound
they
like
have.
a-
And there's like a
that doesn't
10-foot
sound
drop, I think, to the real
Yeah.
It's just like the game. That doesn't sound
And
safe.
some kid definitely fell off of that. 100%.
Oh no.
So they had Island. They had 23 kids because one kid wasn't there, of course, because he got hurt. So they had 23 kids. They brought them all up. And then they all of a sudden had this magical number 12 on the back wall. And you're like,
Right.
12? What does that mean? They made every kid audition. There was groups of, I think, 1, 2, or 3. You auditioned. You did a K-pop song. Some people did TXT, Monsta X, GOT7. It was a whole wide range of songs.
Yes.
And then basically everyone raised their hand. And if you got over the majority, which I guess now is 11, right? Over 11 votes, you got put in, it said in. And if you got
You're
under
in
that
the
amount,
island.
you
Yeah.
were out.
But
were
you-
they
So-
eliminated?
So we thought they were eliminated. It turns out they're not. So they're
Oh.
doing a similar to 16 major minor.
Oh.
So they have island and ground. And my joke is that the island kids get to live in the complex. The ground kids should probably camp outside in the woods because this complex is in the middle of the woods. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Is that safe?
I don't know. but
Wild
So-
animals?
I think it'd be hilarious if the honestly the dorms and stuff ridiculous. Like
money?
money. Yeah.
It sounds like One Night 2 Days on like an idol version. Like they always had that like game before they go to sleep
Ah,
to
yeah,
pick
yeah, yeah.
the winners
Sleep
and sleep
who
inside.
sleeps outside. Yeah.
Right.
So there's island and like calling them ground is so bad. Like that just sounds
Yeah.
like low. Like yo, you ground, fam.
Hi, you are ground
I think I have 2 favorite kids so far.
already. Wow.
Wow.
Nikki, that was one
Oh,
of
the
the Japanese
storyline
kids.
with Nikki and Taki is really killing me right now.
Yes,
What's
That's
going
their
on
names,
there?
Nikki and Taki. That's
there's
their
2
name.
Japanese
Ta-
kids. They're bros.
Taki, yeah.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
And right now, there's too many kids in Island. There's over 12 kids got in, so they're gonna
Yes.
have to vote like kids out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the preview for
teaser.
next week, one of the Japanese kids wants the other his bro to be out of Island.
It's so sad. Why, Nikki?
Yeah, they like straight up betrayal, anime betrayal right there.
Yo, top 10 betrayals of all time.
The other kid I liked was Jake, so I like Nikki
Oh.
and Jake so far. Those are my 2 bros.
Interesting.
What'd you think about Island, Anita?
I was honestly very impressed by the level of performances because
Yeah,
I
they're
think
really
they
good.
mentioned how, I think the oldest people have been there is like 4 years. I think
Mhm.
I want to say like that's the oldest. They've been in the company as trainees, and they're very well rounded. I would say like their dancing skills, very good, very singing and like just performance in general, very very good. And there's definitely a lot of potential, and they're very young still, so I doubt they would debut that soon, but definitely talented, I would say. I also thought it was really interesting, like the song choices they had for their performances. Like Doug mentioned, there was a lot of NCT, Monsta X, VIX, very very interesting. I guess variety of songs that people covered. And I thought it was interesting that people did like solos, duos, and like groups of 3 because it definitely added to like what people are good at. Like the soloists definitely had like more well-rounded, I would guess,
Mhm.
and people that did it in threes, they I don't know. I feel like it showed their skill for sure. And like I mentioned, the whole Nikki and Taki storyline that's going on. I am so sad. When I saw like the ending of the episode, I felt the betrayal. I was, how could you do this?
Someone did
Your
the Seven
bro.
Cents, Warren. One of our favorite songs.
Yes. Oh my god, they did. Spoiler
what?
alert again.
They what? Sorry.
The NCT, the 7 Cents.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
they
Someone
did.
did that.
Good
They
taste.
did NCT 7 Cents, Boss.
hmm
They did Dropping, Super M.
Someone did
which I-
Jopping. Someone did
Yeah.
Any Song, which I think was a bad song
Yeah.
choice because that's not
Yeah,
a hard
that was
song.
That's a
I
bad
thought
choice.
it was
Yeah.
a cute performance though. I think
Yeah,
they
but, like-
worked it out.
Anita, it's not a TikTok challenge they're doing. They're trying to do an audition. Why would you?
I would say that it was memorable to me because it was different from all the other songs that we're doing, like the themes that they were going for, and I feel like they must know, like, okay, we have to stand out. Either I think they were the people that did that song were kind of young and they were not like the most experienced, so I'm guessing they weren't like that confident in their singing or dancing, so they did something different just to stand out, and I think it worked.
So-
I really think it worked for me. I
Like
don't
like back when in Produce 48 they had the trio that did like the Eat You Up song.
Eat you up.
One
the
Claw.
The Japanese song.
Right, they did the retro
I want to be a
Japanese song.
celeb. Yes.
Right. Celebrity Ghost. Yeah, that one. Kind of like that, maybe.
Kind of. It was more on the cute side,
Okay.
charming side. I don't know. I'm
I'm-
interested. I will
I'm
definitely
interested
be
too.
watching
Yeah.
the next
Do
episode.
you have a favorite?
I
only for
don't
favorites.
think I have a favorite, but there's definitely people that are getting a lot of screen time. I think one of the guys that was also in Jake's group, Sunu,
hmm
got a lot of screen time. I think he has a good voice.
The main difference you noticed with a lot of the kids is who can sing and who can't.
Yes.
There was
of
a
course.
couple kids who
Oh,
sang
man.
so well relative to the norm
Yeah.
that they definitely stood out because everyone sang with AR backing and some kids were kind
Yeah.
of like, eh. But there was a couple kids who sang so well that it like you were like, all right, well they're probably making the 12 for this portion
Yeah.
of the show. It was pretty
Yeah.
obvious to me.
Dancing wise, I think everybody is pretty
Decent, yeah.
decent, yeah, on track with each other, but the vocals is probably what's gonna be more decisive, I guess.
The one other thing I've been doing this week is there's the show Hang Out with You, Normyeon Mohani, also known as How Do You Play with Yoo Jae-seok, who's the guy from Running Man.
Oh yes.
He's doing that unit thing with Ihyori and Rain right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is like I finally went back and started watching the videos, not just the episodes, not just the clips. It is so funny.
Yeah, I've been
is-
telling you.
It is like top level TV right now in Korea, I think. I'm assuming the ratings are very good for this show, right?
For Saturdays, it's pretty decent. Yeah, it's pretty good.
They're getting like 10% right now.
It's
Wow.
pretty solid, I would say. You know?
Bro, they're in SOC 3. That's their name. I'm at the point where they start to bring in producers. So Park Moon-chi, that girl you talked about,
Yes.
she appeared on
yes.
there, and she was really good. She showed off her
They
remixes.
should go with her.
They did the remix of Boy With Love and Any Song she showed off. They were so good. Jesus Christ.
I recently they have 4 song candidates. They're internally trying to pick a track to kind of debut with. Song 3 should win. Just all I'm gonna say.
Song 3.
I'm not there yet. I got like a couple more episodes to get to that
Little
point.
tease.
They
Yeah, little
get
tease.
to 4 candidates. Just keep in mind, third song is the one they should pick. Fourth song is also really great. Personally, I like fourth song the most, but I mean, I'm probably I'm speaking nonsense right
I
now.
need to watch this.
Oh, I'll give you a link later, Anita. It's amazing.
Yes.
It's great. It's great.
Anita, you were going to mention something at the end of the pod. What is
Yes, I was about TXT. So Doug mentioned earlier that another one of the B-sides from TXT was released recently, and it's like a 20-minute MV. So it's an investment. And basically the music video is going on more about their lore, right? And I don't actually get it, but I appreciate it. I'm
fair.
appreciating from afar because I'm confused. I don't know what's going on, but it looks interesting. But what caught my ear, I should say, because it has nothing to do with the song. It's a hidden track that plays in the music video. So if you watch the music video, there's a scene where they're in a practice room, and Subin, one of the members, it looks really confused and he's just running around. But in the background, there's this song playing and it's called Sweat. And it's a hidden track that was released on Weavers. And apparently, I did not find this information until like a day later because I was so confused. I went through like their whole discography trying to figure out what the song was called because I figured it was a B-side. But someone commented saying that it was a gift from TXT to MOAs, to the fandom, and it was only on Weavers. Nobody else can access this song. And I am so sad because it sounds like a really good song. And so basically, you have to have like a code and be signed up, have a login, and then go after going through like different steps and like different codes, you have access to a clip of the song. Like I don't think it's the full song, but it's a clean version that you can listen to. And apparently, the members of the group helped produce the song as well, so that's interesting. But from what I could hear in the music video of Eternally, it sounds pretty good. And I would like a full version accessible to all because right now the MOAs, the people of the fandom are keeping it very secret because it was supposed to be a gift only for them on the Weavers account. So I don't know. I'm contemplating making an account just to listen to the whole song if it's available, but I hope they get to release a full version sometime because it sounds really interesting, really promising. Like it could be a title track, honestly, but I don't know.
Is it always gonna be on Weverse, or are they like eventually going to like put it out there? Do you not know, or do you not know? I'm assuming you don't know.
I don't know because well the song was available to people on Weverse before the Eternally music video came out. So I'm guessing it was just like a clip that they were gonna release for them, for the fans. But I'm hoping that if later on they have like a comeback, it could be like a full B-side. I don't know. I honestly don't know if other listeners have more information on what's gonna happen with this song. Please let me know because I am very interested in listening to the full version. You could have
just asked the Discord BTS channel because they know everything.
They probably know, yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if BTS fans are also very much in the TXT universe and like what that is going on there. But last song recommendation that I want to make that's city pop related because we talked about Sunmi. It's from this duo called Rainbow Note, and the song is called Venus. So this song, well, the duo, it's kind of like Pporappippam, where it's like one singer and then kind of instrumental producer person with them, and it's so good. It's all of the city pop retro vibes, and it's very, I would say like it leans more towards going all the way in the retro vibes. It's not really a modern take. It's just city pop.
It's the ones where the cover arts are all anime.
Yes. So there's a channel on YouTube that has a lot of like indie stuff. I think it's like Poklanos or something like that. And they have a lot of like indie stuff, and the music video to this song is on their channel. But yes, definitely check them out. Venus by Rainbow Note if you're into city pop. And yes.
I'm not their biggest fan, but you know, everyone
Really?
has their favorites. I've only checked them out because I've heard a couple songs off their Spotify, and because they were on my suggestion after listening to a bunch of city pop, and I don't know, I didn't like it, but maybe I'll visit again. I don't know.
Have you listened to this song in particular, Venus?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
It's fairly recent. It came out last year, I want to say, sometime.
Okay, okay, this is the top on their Spotify right now. Yeah, I probably heard this. I don't know, I didn't like it. Maybe I'll check it out again. Maybe I'll look at this time. I don't know.
What about you, Warren?
I'm gonna keep it short because my mouth is kind of in pain right now. But it's okay. I'm alive. I've been listening to a lot of trap.
Trap?
No, trap, not strap. Trap.
Trap.
Like
yes.
Trap.
No, we said trap.
Oh, I thought you said strap. And I was
Why
like,
would
no.
we say strap? Why?
No, okay, trap. As in really SoundCloudy, poopy trap music that is made for and by the Zoomers.
Okay.
Do you know what Zoomers are, Anita?
Maybe. But go on.
It's the Gen Z boys, you know.
Ah.
The e-girls and e-boys of our generation. No, but in all seriousness, I kind of had a busy week in terms of work and whatnot. I kind of needed some sort of escapism, kind of, you know, excitement in my life. So I've been I've been looking into very exciting music from these highly anticipated SoundCloud rappers, and you know what? Some of it has been good, some of it has been not so good, and I've picked out my favorites. I've had a good playlist. Mostly stuff like recent album that recently dropped was called Trap Compilation by the TNF Crew.
Tiana.
In case you couldn't guess, it's a compilation of trap songs. Hence the title, Trap Compilation. And it's from the crew, TNF Crew, which is a group of people that Bill Stacks is part of. It's a bunch of new youngins plus Bill Stacks that is doing very trendy trap music. If you're into that kind of music, you know, you should go check it out because you probably will like it. You know. But
I have a hip hop question.
Yeah.
For you. Did you see Higher Music? I think that's who they were on Yu-Gi-Oh! Sketchbook.
Higher game, back at it again. That thing, yeah.
Dude, Haon has been hitting that guy got thick.
Buff.
He got thick.
He's
Straight
big.
up, right?
Yeah.
Double H thick, right?
Man, yeah. He was a stick, and now he's like, oh man.
He hit the
he a
top.
man
I
now.
first saw him get kind of jacked in the gang remix thing.
Oh,
Gang,
yeah.
Gang remix, and then I saw him on
Yeah,
Sketchbook. I'm
Higher
like,
Gang.
he got big, right?
He got big. Yeah. He was on.
Is that
he was on,
Higher Music? That group or?
That is Higher Music. It's their CEO Jay Park and some of the players include PH1, Kim Haon or Haon Kim, as well as Sakei.
Didn't you
It's
just
off
go to
to
the
the
military? Yeah, like
Oh,
yesterday or
okay.
something.
Yeah.
Is that it, Warren? That's all for you?
I don't have that much to say this time around.
I hope is Rocket Punch. Do we got any comeback news about them?
Okay.
Do we know?
They had a V Live last night. As of
Yeah,
the
what did they
recording
say?
date. I saw it while I was earlier. I had some free time during when I was eating lunch. I watched it. It was fun. They are practicing a lot nowadays. They're in the practice room a
Ooh.
lot.
That's good. That's good.
I know that's probably saying something. I am. Did I talk about the leak last time with the cover
No.
art?
No.
Who leaked it?
What happened was someone on Instagram, like an illustrator, was like excited to work for this new girl group album cover art. Hashtag Rocket Punch.
Oh, my god.
And then there was
Big
like
leak.
the picture of the Pink Punch album and the Red Punch album, and I was like, okay.
Don't they sign
and
a non-disclosure agreement?
I know, stupid person, and it got taken down in like 3 hours, but people saw immediately, and it's all over the internet. So
Seems like something's happening.
it seems like something is happening. I am excited.
My last question for you. Do you want to have the take next week be about adding members to groups? I'll ask you.
Are you gonna do that next week?
Do you want to do that next week?
Sure, yeah.
So I guess the
Alright.
take next week is going to be, well, maybe Harold will choose this one.
Yeah,
LOL.
we'll
But,
tell
uh,
him.
Yeah.
Maybe
We'll
it'll
tell
be
him.
something about adding members to groups, and we could have a full discussion then about adding Chaewon and / or Eunbi to Rocket Punch in that take.
Man, it's gonna be a war next week.
All right.
Also, another preview for next week. The background will change, and I will have new hair.
Ooh.
Interesting. I mean,
Ooh.
bro, you want to see my baldness again real quick?
Sneak peek.
Yeah, it looks fine. It looks fine.
Bro,
Yeah.
I'm going to the military too, man.
I don't know. This is impossible to control right now. The comments in Discord have been very positive, very thankful about it. But I wake up in the mirror sometimes and wake up in the mirror. I wake up and look at myself in the mirror sometimes. I'm like, I'm a walking broccoli sometimes, and like it's.
Bro,
it's-
my decision was my hair was getting too long and it's the summer and it's hot, so I was like, I'm just gonna shave most of it off because it'll be cooler. Then that was like the whole logic.
You know what's so annoying, and I have to say this even while my mouth is in pain. I ordered a pair of clippers on eBay.
The buzzer thing.
Yep. I bought some buzzers 2 months ago. Because I knew
Never
it was gonna
came?
take a while. It never came. It never came.
No.
And I messaged the guy, and he was like, and I was like, dude, if it's lost, it's fine. I'll just get a refund and move on. And he was like, no, it'll be there in very soon. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Just let me wait, I guess, another week. It's nothing. And I'm about to leave Michigan. It's nothing. So thank you, that eBay person. I left you a bad review.
Your front wave is epic today.
Dude, just look at this. Look at here. Like,
no, I'm looking at it. It's you voluminous.
dude, you know what I do? Okay, so I blow dry my hair. That's what I do, and then I style it. And then the next thing I do is I push my hair onto my head because it's so floofy. you have no idea how much difficult.
Some people would want that, Warren. Some people are
and the problem is you got such
envious.
a big head you can't wear hats, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can pull a dog.
It's an honest truth. I have difficulty finding hats because what's the word, radius? Is that thing?
Bro, you end up looking like Hey Arnold.
Circumference.
The circumference of my head is little higher than average. It is very difficult finding hats.
All right, that's a good ending point for us. Warren's big. So this has been SojuTalk, your weekly shot of K-pop. I'm Doug. I'd like to thank Warren and Anita for joining me this week. We'll be back next week when we cover a lot of songs. Probably. I'm looking at this weekly Zico, Chungha, SF9, and that Red Velvet unit that should be fire. We'll see you guys then. Bye. Rocket punch, rocket punch, rocket punch.
Special shoutouts to our Fiesta patrons: Based Mina, Goku Mama, Jack, Jacob, Malfiar, NJ Parks, Snap Wilson, Tier. Thank you for joining SojuTalk, your weekly shot of K-pop. And special thanks to our Discord server mods: Jacob, K-Music Erday, Malfiar, No Bias Nuna, Tuggles, V, and Wolf297.